Hello students, welcome back to our channel. Today in this video, we are going to see 2 and 3 mark question and answers from Unit 2 KINEMATICS of Class 11 Physics, Tamil Nadu State Board Syllabus. This is the part 4 of this video series. We have already uploaded 3 videos related to this lesson. Now let us continue with our studies. Question number 22. Differentiate velocity and average velocity. Velocity and here comes average velocity. So now we are going to see the differences. Velocity and average velocity. Here point number 1. Velocity is equal to rate of change of position vector with respect to time. Here, average velocity is defined as ratio of displacement vector to the corresponding time interval. Now let us see the second points. V is equal to limit delta t tends to 0, delta r vector by delta t. It means when the limit delta t tends to 0 or when delta t approaches 0, this delta r vector by delta t will become dr vector by dt. So the expression for velocity is v is equal to dr vector by dt. Here average velocity, V average, AVG is the short form of average, is equal to the ratio of displacement vector delta r vector to the corresponding time interval delta t. Now let us see the next question. Question number 23. Define relative velocity. Answer. When two objects A and B are moving with different velocities, then the velocity of object A with respect to object B is called the relative velocity of object A with respect to B. So when we compare the velocity of one object to another object, then it will become relative velocity. Next question. Question number 24. Write down the equations of motion of uniformly accelerated objects. Answer. The equations are V is equal to U plus AT. Here V stands for final velocity and U stands for initial velocity, and A is acceleration and T is time. Then S is equal to UT plus half AT square. S is nothing but displacement and again U initial velocity, then A acceleration and T time. The third equation is V squared is equal to U squared plus 2AS. So as we have already seen, V is final velocity and U stands for initial velocity, A is acceleration and S is for displacement. Question number 25. Write down the equations of motion under gravity for the following cases. Here we are going to deal with the acceleration, a special kind of acceleration which is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. For these two cases, case number 1, a body falling from a height h. Second one, a body thrown vertically upwards. Answer. A body falling from a height h. Here what happens is, instead of writing small a, which denotes acceleration, we are going to replace it with small g, which is nothing but acceleration due to gravity. So the equations become V is equal to U plus gt, Y is equal to ut plus half gt squared. Here the body is falling from a certain height downwards. So the movement is taking place in the y axis. So instead of writing S for displacement, we have taken it as y. So y is equal to ut plus half gt squared. Then comes v squared is equal to u squared plus 2gy. In the place of s, we have written y. So these are the equations meant for a body falling from a certain height. Next one is a body thrown vertically upwards. Here we are going to take the sign of g as minus, because a falling object is falling due to the gravitational force of earth. So for a falling object, we take plus g, acceleration due to gravity. But for a body thrown vertically upwards in the opposite direction, we are going to take this g as minus g. So the equations become v is equal to u minus gt, y is equal to ut minus half gt squared, v squared is equal to u squared minus 2gy. Question number 26. Bring out the equations of motion for a particle falling from rest. It is a special case because already a particle is at rest, then it starts falling down. So we need to take the initial velocity u as 0. So substitute this in equations. V is equal to u plus gt, y is equal to ut plus half gt squared, and v squared is equal to u squared plus 2gy. Then we get v is equal to gt, y is equal to half gt squared, v squared is equal to 2gy. Because the term u becomes 0, so the equations have changed in this way. Question number 27. Define free fall. Answer. The motion of a body falling towards the earth from a small altitude. Here altitude means height. Now the height is defined as when it compares to the radius of the earth, the height is very, very small. That's why it is called a small altitude. Purely under the force of gravity is called free fall. The motion of a body falling towards the earth from a small altitude, that is h is very, very smaller than r, purely under the force of gravity, not any other forces, which is called as free fall. Now next question, question number 28. Define projectile. What do you mean by trajectory? Answer. When an object is thrown in the air with some initial velocity and then allowed to move under the action of gravity alone, the object is known as a projectile. So initially we are throwing an object with some sort of velocity, then it is allowed to move only under the action of gravity. Such an object is known as a projectile. Now, this term trajectory is nothing but the path followed by the projectile is called trajectory. The path followed by the projectile is given a special name called trajectory. Question number 29. Give a few examples of a projectile. Answer. An object dropped from window of a moving train. So when an object is dropped from a moving train, it won't just fall directly and reaches the ground. Instead, first it follows a horizontal way, then only it comes to the ground. So it's a very good example of a projectile. Second one is a bullet fired from a rifle. Third one is a javelin or shot put thrown by an athlete. அப்போ ஒரு athlete, ஒரு தடகள வீரரால் எறியப்பட்ட ஈட்டி அல்லது குண்டு, அது எப்படி இருக்கும்? ஒரு projectile செயல்படும். Question number 30. A projectile moves under the combined effect of two velocities. So there are two velocities that act on a projectile. So a projectile's movement is nothing but a combination of two velocities. Name them. What are those two velocities? These are the two velocities. Number one, a uniform velocity in the horizontal direction in the absence of air resistance. So when there is no resistance of air, by the time if an object has a uniform velocity in the horizontal direction, it's a kind of a velocity. Then another velocity is a uniformly changing velocity in the vertical direction. அப்போ horizontal directionல இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு யூனிஃபார்ம் வெலாசிட்டி, இட் ஓன்ட் சேஞ்ச், அது மாறவே மாறாது. எப்பன்னா இந்த ஆப்சன்ஸ் ஆஃப் ஏர் ரெசிஸ்டன்ஸ், காற்று தடையே இல்லாத பொழுது, இது ஒரு வெலாசிட்டி. மற்றொரு வெலாசிட்டி என்னன்னா வெர்டிக்கல் டைரக்ஷன். அப்படின்னா என்ன, செங்குத்து திசையில் மாறக்கூடிய, அது முன்னால பார்த்தது மாறாத, இது மாறக்கூடிய ஒரு வெலாசிட்டி. அப்ப அது கிடைத்தளத்துல செயல்படுது, இது செங்குத்து திசையில செயல்படுது. இந்த ரெண்டு வெலாசிட்டிஸ் தான் எங்க ஒரு ப்ரொஜெக்டைல் மேல செயல்படுது. So with this, let us wind up this session and continue with our studies in the next video.
Like, share and comment and subscribe our channel and click the bell button for more videos. Thank you.